Hi everyone, welcome to the Wednesday stream. We will be looking at some charts today. I'm gonna go ahead and my screen right away. Okay, so we have some Bitcoin sideways action here. We tested the upper side of the channel on May 20 on this past Monday, and we've just been basically hovering near the top of the range. What we do like to see is that we're currently above 69K, $69,000, which is the second all-time high top from November 2021 here. So we've been discussing how significant are these two levels, and we're currently above the two of them. So any day we're above 69K, and every day we're above 64.9K. It's a good day in my opinion. It would have been appreciated if we had broken out of this descending channel right away, but apparently we'll need another higher low in order for us to continue the uptrend. This higher low can come in on any point here. As long as we put it above 60K, basically it'll be a higher low, and the market structure break to the upside will be intact, and we will be looking for higher prices. So that's your Bitcoin, pretty much sideways. Doesn't have too much edge on the daily, but it's worth noting that on the 3-day, it has a hidden bullish divergence, the same one that's currently building on others and on total free. Here in the MACD histogram, you have a lower low on the negative momentum of the histogram, and you have a higher low on price. So as I stated on the video that I uploaded yesterday, this means that sellers had a lot of negative momentum. They did their best on trying to push this asset lower, and they couldn't, and they just failed and basically just printed a higher low on the chart. So it's currently losing its negative momentum on the 3-day. Still has one more day to go for this candle to close, but I expect that in the following weeks we'll start seeing some positive momentum on the 3-day charts, and possibly a breakout out of this bull flag or descending channel. So that's your Bitcoin. Pretty meh. It's good that we haven't retraced this full candle, this full Marubasu candle. It's called this pattern with a bullish engulfing candle, and you're working on your highest daily candle close since basically Monday. So that's your BTC. We can go to USDT dominance. We talked a lot about this head and shoulders, the neckline, and once we broke down, we backtested it as resistance, and that's when we had this big markdown. We'll check if we already reached the target of the measure move, because I don't think we did. It's around a 13% to the downside from the breakdown. So we almost reach it, or we're shy 3 points or so of the target of the head and shoulders. Tame light a little bit here. Okay. I'm gonna switch to maybe like that. Want to see how you get a better look of myself here. So look way too pale. My opinion. I'm not this white, everyone. Okay. I think it was better when it was on. Either way. I like the USDT dominance is sitting below the 4.88%. We talked a lot about this being a significant level. I'm just gonna check on the 3-day if we have any edge. Actually, we have a hidden bearish divergence as well. It's the opposite divergence that BTC is currently building or developing, because you have a higher high on the histogram and you have a lower high on price, which means buyers tried their best, had a lot of positive momentum, and they couldn't build a higher high on price. So hidden divergences, just for explaining it, is a continuation divergence. Traditional divergence, it's for a reversion. A hidden divergence is for a continuation of the trend, which in this case is bearish. So it signals that we're probably going to see lower prices on USDT. Let's go, Eduard. Welcome to the stream. You're not late. I just started like 5 minutes ago. Just covered Bitcoin. I'm now on BTC, on USDT dominance. So finally, the head and shoulders broke down. And what I do like about this, it's on the weekly. We're currently sitting below significant levels, which is the 4.88%, which has been an inflection point from the past, and we're currently using it as resistance. Again, you have a small deviation above of this wicks here, but we're currently marking down. You had a bearish engulfing candle from last week, and now this week the confirmation of the bearish engulf with a red candle to the downside. So this could turn into a dead cat bounce. It's what I'm expecting or hoping for, and come revisit the 3.8% level, and then hopefully the bottom of the channel. So that's really bullish for the crypto industry. Let's go to Bitcoin dominance too. We have a red day too as well. Somewhat of a small bearish Harambe or bearish hammer. We've been talking about the 50% target on BTCD. Everyone was expecting for 60%, and we've been really emphatic on saying that the 57% resistance is strong. I mean, everyone was waiting for 60%, and we think that the 50% resistance is quite strong, and we tested it once, and we're currently building somewhat of a double top here with buyer's extraction being signal on this bearish divergence on the MACD histogram. So the target for BTC dominance would be in the low 50s, maybe 50%, and we could see a reaction here, but hopefully we see lower prices and have that long-weighted altcoin season, because we have an 18-month rally probably coming to an end. Maybe developing somewhat of a rounded top here. So that's your daily, working on your lowest candle close since May 2nd of 2024. And it's just good to see continuation to the downside on this index. Okay. We cover Bitcoin, USDT dominance, Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum trading sideways as well today. Just a little bit of selling. It's currently 1.37% down on the daily. It's a nothing burger candle, in my opinion. Doesn't signal a reversion at all. just no pattern. Significant volume today as well, so it could be just hovering up here before continuing to the upside. It's above 3,582 bucks, which is a critical level from past cycle. This complacency shoulder top. So the fact that we're above it signals for me that it's probably going to keep going into higher prices. Let's check the 3-day if we have an edge there. So yeah, we have the same edge. The Bitcoin, others, and total 3 has this hidden bullish divergence where you have a lower low on MACD negative momentum and a higher low on price. Actually, on Ethereum is kind of being front run because we're printing the first positive momentum on the 3-day in the MACD since March 22. So this is a good continuation edge that we have for the ETH token here. Working on the 3-day, it's going to close tomorrow, but if we close like that, it's working on the highest 3-day close since basically March 13. So yeah, that's pretty cool for ETH. Let's go to Solana. Solana was trading on the green most of the day, just selling off this past hour, doing a small bearish pin bar, if you could say so. No edge on the daily, just confluence, and we're above 143 bucks, which is the complacency shoulder for the past cycle, but we're below 205, which was this huge resistance that we had when we put in this cycle top in March. Not too much of an edge on Solana. You just need to put in a higher low, and we'll probably see continuation to the upside. I want to see Sol BTC. We have something there. So Sol BTC, it's currently green still. I'm not having a confirmation of this bearish engulfing candle that we had yesterday. Yesterday we bearishly engulfed, and we're not confirming that engulfing yet. So it could turn into a non-event, this bearish engulfing candle. We currently have convergence on the daily with the MACD histogram, and if we go to the 3-day, you basically have bullish convergence as well. So nothing to be worried about yet on the Sol BTC pair. I do want to check out the Sol ETH pair because I have a somewhat of a thesis maybe developing there. Let's see it. Sol ETH. So this could be a stretch, but I think we could be seeing some week of distribution schematic on the second schematic of the week of this distribution. Yeah. So you basically have preliminary supply here in phase A, then Bayek's climax, then automatic response, then secondary test, then a sign of weakness here in phase B when you put in a lower low than this low here, then an up thrust, and then the last remaining points of supply here on this previous top. And you actually have a bearish harmonic here. You have a bearish bat also. So this is an harmonic here. Scott Carney is basically the technician genius who came out with this kind of harmonic, which is a Fibonacci retracement harmonic. If you put it this way, if you inverted this, this would be a long trace setup when you put in a bullish bat on this way on a significant inflection point, which is, if you look left, you're right next to the previous all-time high. So I'm not. I think Ethereum might outperform Solana for the next few weeks or months. It depends if we continue to put in last points of supply. So basically, what the Wyckoff schematic says is that you start doing something like this, then you have the confirmation of the Wyckoff distribution setup here. This one, like, you would have to do something like this. Last point of supply, last point of supply, last point of supply. So this would mean Ethereum outperforming a lot Solana in the following weeks. Probably you have to give it context as well. Most likely motivated by the approval of the ETF or the rumors of the approval of the Ethereum ETF. The deadline for the ETF, I think it's somewhat this week, but it can get pushed further all the way to August, I think late August. So I wouldn't be surprised if they push it, like the same playbook they did with Bitcoin. And I think that would still be bullish. I actually would like more a delay than an approval this week, honestly, because I think it will give more time the market to cook on Ethereum longs. Yeah, exactly. Or those if we get those delays, it'll probably be bullish. It feels like I think I said it on the last stream where I was cut short because I had some bad internet. I was out of town, but the Monday upmark that Ethereum had with the news of the change probabilities of the change, the odds change for the Ethereum ETF, it reminded me of the intern of the Cointelegraph intern day for Bitcoin, where I think it was Cointelegraph published a fake news, and we have this crazy 8% pump, and then we would trace, and then we just kept going. So yeah, my shirt's Tupac and Marilyn Monroe shirt. Of course, it's edited because they didn't live together. They were not alive at the same period, at least not like at the same time. But yeah, it's my shirt. I'm a big Tupac fan. So we'll see what happens with Ethereum and the ETF, but I'm starting to look at this somewhat. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Solana bull, but I think I think it's gonna do well. I just think for the time being, maybe ETH is gonna recover some ground and have that week of distribution scenario playing out. It's just it's not looking too dandy for the Sol ETH bulls. So that's your Solana and Ethereum. What else? I didn't check on Bitcoin against the SPX, so it's looking pretty similar to the USD pair. It's just sitting at the upper side of the range of the bull flag. It was rejected. We still have this Adam and Eve bottoming pattern down here, and this huge bullish Marubasu candle. So as long as we don't fully retrace it, I think we're going to be fine. Maybe we can retrace it, but it needs to take a while, in my opinion. It's not the same if we, for example, retrace it immediately that if we slowly but surely start putting on a higher low. So I would rather see that instead of a full blown down mark and just losing this whole price action. So it just need a higher low and everything's all right. Um, we'll have to be patient. But I'm guessing that when we break out of this bull flag or descending channel or reaccumulation, however you want to call it, I think we're going to see some fireworks and some significant upmark on BTC. And probably if Bitcoin dominance keeps trading that way, we'll start to see some altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin reaches 80K, 90K, and it gets media attention, more retail attention, probably people will have more appetite for risk and will start pumping altcoins immensely. It's what everyone's waiting for, and we'll have that altcoin season for a few months, most likely, and then we'll paint a bottom on BTCD, and then we'll see how it goes. Oh, about ordinals, I didn't go into too deep into ordinals, being honest. I bought a couple DMTs subscriptions, which were some units, non-arbitrary tokens, which were a new technology that they built on ordinals, and they're quite dead by the time being. I'm guessing that if we have a markdown on BTCD, they'll probably recover, but I don't think they have the spotlight as they had before. I think ETH beta would be the play for this new quarter or the following months, because most likely if we get the ETF and we have a markdown, we have a continuing downtrend on BTCD, probably Ethereum will be a good outperformer, and everything related to Ethereum will probably do better than ordinals. It's not that they're going to do bad or anything. I'm sure the blue chips will do amazing, but I will be more interested in looking for Ethereum beta. Some some memes on Ethereum mainnet. I think that Ethereum mainnet will get better memes than layer 2 mainnets. Not sure why, but the Pepe strength, which is an ETH mainnet meme, just gives me the clue that memes on mainnet will outperform layer 2 memes. So I will be looking more into that instead of ordinals. I feel like ordinals had like one full year of attention or so, and if we start seeing some Bitcoin dominance downtrend, would be more interested in assets that are outside of Bitcoin. I could be wrong, and they could be the best performers in the whole cycle, sure. But timing wise, I think the spotlight right now it's on Ethereum and Ethereum beta. All right, let's move into before going into altcoins, I'm gonna check out the Nasdaq here. It's closed pretty flat today. We had all-time highs today. Yeah, we had price discovery. We're starting to lose positive momentum on the MACD daily. Not concerned because of what the monthly looks like. I've been repeating this like a parrot, I think, but it's just oh wow, I put like the 12-month. Okay. Yeah, so the monthly looks incredible here. Just building positive momentum again on the MACD. And going for, there's still 8 more days for the monthly candle close, but if we close above 18,281 points or dollars, however you want to measure it, we will have the highest monthly candle close on the Nasdaq. I think I had some channel's moving here. I don't know what happened. I'll have to correct it later. Yeah. Okay. Oh no. So nope. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. So we're currently about the mid range on this channel, and I'm looking at the upper side of this channel for the summer, or probably second semester of this year, at 22,000 points or so. And we're actually above the P cycle bottom indicator, 150-day moving average, which I like to use for the Nasdaq. It's like your bull market's support band for the Nasdaq, in my opinion. So as long as we're above it, I'm bullish Nasdaq and risk and whatnot. That's your Nasdaq, SPX. We didn't have price discovery today. We didn't hit all-time highs like Nasdaq did. We're probably we're losing positive momentum on the MACD histogram as well. But I'm not concerned because of what I just said for stocks and the Nasdaq. I think that monthly setup for me is my risk on, risk off measure. And if we're above that EMA and we're trading good on the monthly, then I'm just going to stay patient and remain bullish. Okay, now we can move to some more altcoins. Let's go to WIF since it's on the thumbnail. It's been having some absorption today because of the Bitcoin sell-off, and it was quite up today. It was almost like 16% on the daily. Right now it's on 9.3% on the daily, working on your highest daily candle close since May 15. And why did I put WIF on the thumbnail? And why I am excited on this asset, besides the bullish engulfing candle and besides being uncorrelated to the market dump today, where we had a big WIF pump with a lot of volume. It's because of this setup. It has a 3 rising valleys setup here. That was I was waiting for it since basically 1 week ago, that maybe the low was going to be put in here, and we have that whole CT FUD. A lot of crypto Twitter accounts came in and just fought it with memes and said they were going to $1 and $1.50 or whatnot, and they were going to buy in $1. So the sentiment was really fought and really bad. People were panicking and selling their WIF. I wasn't. I was actually buying. So we have this 3 rising valleys pattern here being printed on the daily. And what is a 3 rising valleys pattern consist? On 3 consecutive higher lows with higher highs. It's not just the 3 higher lows, but you also need a higher high on the second low after the first low. So this high from May 6th is higher from this high from April 24th. So when we saw this, I saw these 2 lows and then the higher highs. I was all right. Like, maybe the composite operator, maybe the market, it's doing something here. So I was kind of like laughing here when everyone was panicking, because I knew that as long as we put in a higher low than this one, we will be okay. So yeah, I'm bullish on WIF. As long as we lose this low, and I don't think we will. Sure, anything can happen. It's trading, it's the market. But how the conditions are right now, I don't expect this low to be taken out. I expect this pattern to play out to the upside. And you have your measure move target for your 3 rising valleys is from the lowest low to the breakout from the neckline. So it's like an 88%, I think, target. That would be insane. I mean, it's not as insane for memes, but anyway, doing TA on such wild targets just funny. So we'll be at an 88% target from whenever we break out. So we'll put width at around almost $7 if we complete this pattern. So it's like a 2x from here, more than a 2x. So you for sure have a risk to reward good long position if you wanted to play here the trade. But invalidation below, just a little bit below your low here. It's a 19 drawdown if you enter here. Just be aware of that. You don't probably want to go in with a lot of size into this, because if you fail and you get stopped, it will be a 20% loss. So you don't, like, if you wanted to, you should have probably entered before, but the target makes it worth it, in my opinion. The risk to reward around 6.9 or so. So that will be the TA trade if the measure move of the setup is hit. If the technical target of this setup is hit, we would see WIF trading at $7. And you can also throw some some Fibonacci too. Yeah, your 1618, it's at 6.7. The 2618, it's around 9.5. 3618, it's at $12. You get the idea. And your 4236, it's around $14. Will be an insane long, and you have to hold through a lot of volatility if you end up selling right above those targets. But this was the setup that I wanted to share with you guys today, especially because everything was just trading sideways, or basically nuking on alts, or just downtrending, and we have this big up mark on WIF. So yeah, that's your WIF. 3 rising valleys. It's a really good setup. If you do it on the inverse side of the trade, it's 3 falling peaks, and it's called classic distribution. If you look at this of an asset and you see 3 peaks like this just before a rally, just after a rally, you would probably want to cut your longs, or just take a hedge, or just manage your risk, because you have lower highs and a lower low here than the previous low. Can Ansem save us? Tweet those time to buy. Yeah, I guess this is like Ansem's coin, right? He likes it a lot, and not a lot of people like Ansem, because I think he's like a new influencer this cycle, and last cycle influencers don't know if they like him so much. If you actually check the timeline, most of the people who were fighting with and collecting on a 6% short or whatever, when clearly the best RR trade was waiting for the low to get put in and go long, where pretty much all of them were from the previous cycle. So take that as you will. Maybe it's cope, or I guess it's not easy staying up to date with cycles and narratives changing. This cycle has been clearly dominated by memes, and who could have foreseen that, or who could have expected that? You can expect memes to be a strong leader for a few weeks or maybe a couple months, but then you have a rotation and you go into a mid cap rotation or a, I don't know, layer one rotation, whatever. And this cycle, memes have been outperforming everything. Yeah, and I'm not gonna be naming names, but there were some people that were trying to buy with at $1. That's just sound greedy to me. When you want to buy too low, it's because of of greediness coming in. Yeah, we had some Nvidia earnings today, and I think Nvidia hit $1,000 post market, and then I think it came down because they announced a stock split. Let's take a look at render. I hold some render, but it's not looking quite as fabulous here as I wished. I'm sure it's going to be a good performer for the bull cycle, but right now you're working on a bearish engulfing candle, like a bearish hammer engulfing candle, just having a hard time going across this resistance. There's a lot of supply above $11. Yeah, yeah, it's just greedy people, not people. It's just a greedy attitude, you know. It's when you don't want to when you want to sell because you think you'll 10x from here or whatever. It's basically being greedy kicking in, and when you want to buy at $1 or whatever, or people who are waiting for lower 50s on Bitcoin just a few weeks ago when the timeline was fully bearish and there were just a few people trying to stay bullish and calm, and just on the technicals everyone was waiting for 50K for buying or whatever, even some 40K targets for from some people. It's just the opposite side of greed. It's just to the downside. So that's your render against the USD. I usually just chart render related to AI coins, but because I think it's been the best performer so far of this cycle. And if we go to render BTC, you'll see what we've been talking about, that this area was probably a strong supply. We talked about render BTC up here, that we were probably going to see some sell-off against BTC, and we've had it. But I'm not too concerned because we're on this ascending broadening wedge. We went through the psychology of this ascending broadening wedge a few streams ago. It's just basically an asset that has a lot of demand but has a bearish bias. That's what this means. So maybe the market has somewhat of a bearish bias of render against BTC because of this formations, just as psychology. And the breakout, it's when you start a trend line, a support all the way up to the upper side of the ascending broadening wedge. So render BTC doesn't look too good here. Being honest with you, it's just a lower high here regarded than this high. We were not able to put in a higher high, or not even like an equal high. So it could be seen as a somewhat of a double top. So maybe it needs you need some time, for reaccumulating before heading higher. It's just the market how it is. I don't think I'll cut my render longs. I just have a somewhat of a small bag. I'm just gonna let it ride. We'll reevaluate it. We'll evaluate again if we lose this trend line, because I think we could find some support around here. Oh yeah. Well, if I were to like cut my full position and say this is cooked, yeah, I would say losing this, not even this long wick. I would say losing this bottom side of the channel of the ascending broadening wedge with a daily candle close, because maybe you can come down, wick, get absorbed and get back above it. Then this whole idea gets thrown out of the window. But it doesn't look too good against BTC. Maybe in, I don't know, when we have the next Nvidia earnings, 2 months from now, it'll start to pump again, and we'll have developed a bottom by then, and we'll just keep going up, keep going higher. But I'm just not willing to cut on a trade or a spot position, because the AI narrative has been quite strong or good performing this cycle, versus a lot of other narratives that's just been really bad. Basically everything else besides memes. I mean, you look at metaverse, NFTs, layer ones, whatever, just gaming, GambleFi, everything has just been outperformed by BTC, and AI coins somewhat have outperformed Bitcoin. So that's your render BTC. Let's go look at Pepe. Pepe's just a beast here. This is the target of the inverse head and shoulders here. I remember I was on stream, and someone asked me like, how do you manage to get to that target? And most likely people were in disbelief that Pepe was going to trade this high when was just basically on the charts. Um, I cut some I cut some a little bit of Pepe here down here on the daily time frame, and when I saw that it closed above, I just bought back again, and thankfully was back inside of the trade when this big up mark occurred. Because I took this trade from way below here, from this right shoulder, and it's just been printing higher lows after higher low. And on the 3-day, it's quite interesting what you can do, what you can see here. If you go to the Bollinger Bands, you see compression of the Bollinger Bands, then following expansion with candles closing above the upper side of the bands. Outside of the bands, that's really a sign of strength regarding Bollinger Bands. And it's the same that happened here on the first pump here. You had the compression, then a big markup, a close above the Bollinger Bands, and then as long as you kept closing above the Bollinger Bands, then you have pumps, and when you came back in, the correction started. So you can ride this all the way until we start to see some 3-day kind of closes again inside of the Bollinger Bands. So that's some Pepe Alpha for you, Edward. It's just hard to position yourself where your invalidation is just so far away. The previous low is like, I don't know, 20% away, even more, like 30% away. So it's hard to position yourself on this trade. Let's look at Pepe BTC. Yeah. So this was the confluence I saw with the USD pair was also losing this level. So that's why I sold a little bit, and then when I saw that the daily was being reclaimed and we didn't come further, I just re-entered. I panic re-entered, thankfully, because otherwise I would have been left out of the trade. So yeah, this pattern has been playing out really nicely, huh? This is another pattern that we talked about. Just to do a quick summary on it, this is a failed bullish pin bar breakdown. So you basically want to trade bullish, I mean, not pin bar, pennant. Sorry about that. When you have a bullish pennant here and you have a false breakdown and you reclaim it, it's way more bullish than a perfect pennant. Usually, when you have a perfect pennant, you somewhat get some of this price action. So you have this perfectly played pennant. You just break out all the way to here, and then price starts like doing some wacky stuff, maybe come here and back test the upper side of the pennant, and who knows, and then maybe we pump. That's what you don't want to see on a pennant. So a failed breakdown on a bullish pennant is where the money's at. So if you next time you see a bullish pennant and it fails to the downside and then it reclaims, you just know the odds are good of it overshooting like it did on Pepe VTC. Just looking left, no levels, just straight up air all the way up into whenever or whatever target this asset ends up topping. What else? ENA. It's been trading really bad since it launched. I mean, it had some good days of price action after TGE, pumped a lot all the way up to 1.5 bucks, but from then it's been down only. I'm interested in this asset because I think it's ETH beta. Probably the best ETH beta will be ETH memes, but if you want to diversify your portfolio and not be all in on memes, you can have some ENA, because some people have been calling it the Luna of this cycle because of the whole stable coin and delta neutral short that they do. I think it's not the same mechanism as Luna. I think Luna was a better Ponzi. I mean, it got them exploded. But he had better Ponzinomics for the price than ENA, but it has somewhat of a Luna narrative to it. So yeah, I've seen Arbitrum and Optimism, and they've been trading really bad against Ethereum. I'll show you. So I'm not touching any Arbitrum or Optimism until we see some good price action against ETH. So we reclaimed this support level from the TGE. We're trying not to engulf the daily. So maybe what we could see, so I had this line drawn here, which could be a neckline. So maybe what you want to see with ENA is something like that, paint an inverse head and shoulders here. Left shoulder here, the head on the deviation, and then a right shoulder confirming 0.8 box as support. And then maybe it will be a good spot to position yourself or build some longs. That's why I've been interested in ENA. Plus, I hold a small bag because I got an airdrop for having a milady. I don't have the full airdrop. I swapped it into some other stuff, but I'm holding some ENA, so it might do some good things. It doesn't look as good against ETH though. Let's see, ENA ETH. So yeah, against ETH, it did on. Maybe you could do something here. Let's see. Did another lower low on the downtrend, and it's currently bearishly engulfing. I'm building the lowest daily candle close ever for Ethena against Ethereum. So that's if you don't want to hold this if you're downtrending like this against Ethereum, you might as well hold ETH. If you invert the chart, it just looks bullish. You actually have like somewhat of a three rising valleys pattern here, you know? First low, higher high, another higher low. So you will need to reclaim this here in order to invalidate the pattern. So it doesn't look too good at all. Well, we'll check on optimism against ETH, working on your lowest daily candle close since April 13. Looks like a straight up dead cat bounce. Doesn't have any edge. Looks bearish for the time being. So I'm not touching any kind of layer 2 until we see some reversion or some setup building here. Honestly, there's way better looking memes on ETH mainnet or Solana that looks better than this. I think tomorrow or Friday I'm going to do a small cap, like a micro cap stream. I'll go to Dex Screener and I'll show some setups that I have there. I'm a really small account right now on YouTube, so I can have the privilege on showing micro caps, you know, or small caps of a couple million market caps that look promising. That you could do some long setups and position yourself for the upside with minimal losses, but not touching any optimism or arbitrum until we see a reversion of this. Look at this, is just criminal, man. I bought some Arbitrum, I think, on February, and I sold it on like April. Like, I'm not gonna hold this, you know. Maybe when we lost this, I think I sold. Not sure. It might have been even later. It's just look awful. It's just sad. They eventually will pump. Maybe when we have some more Ethereum madness, you know, the risk will go towards some Ethereum assets. DYDX looked really good on the daily on the USD pair, but if you look at against Ethereum, it's just all-time lows today. Lowest candle close ever. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, the DYDX. How do you say April? Abril. That's how you say April. Looks like it might bounce. What do you mean, Arbitrum or DYDX? Yeah, I mean, you have a bullish divergence building here on the MACD, but until you see somewhat of a reversion, this could build into positive negative momentum and just throw out of this negative momentum and just build bigger negative momentum. And oh, DXY. Yeah, DXY, it was recovering a little bit. We haven't looked at it today. It's a good point. So yeah, not too concerned. It could put in another lower high and just continue to roll over. I'm bearish DXY until we do a higher high than this one, that the high from October 2023. So I'm not even gonna pay too much attention to it because I think this eventually will roll over if we see that whole risk on into the market. Okay, let's look at something else. TIA was looking somewhat interesting too. It had a nasty downtrend after this immense markup. I think it was like a 10x. I look at some on-chain sometimes, mostly on BTC. The amount of addresses holding one Bitcoin or new wallets or stuff like that. Not a lot of the time. I rely mostly on the charts. Being honest, I think the place that where you can extract the most data out of the market are the charts. For at least for me, I think the chart has basically everything mixed in, and if you learn how to read it somewhat properly, then you can position yourself and manage your risk. The job of a trader is just to manage risk. You don't need to know what's going to happen. Absolutely not. You can actually you'll never know what's going to happen, because no one knows. So you don't need to know what's going to happen in order to make money. You just need to position yourself when you have a probabilistic edge where you have the odds working for you, and you're on a spot where you can cut your losses minimally and you have a big upside. It's basically what you need to do as a trader. So TL developing a bearish pin bar here on a bearish engulfing candle, but what I do like here is this bullish divergence that built on the MACD histogram. If this bullish divergence just plays out poorly and you do like something like this, then then T has cooked and it's probably going to lower prices before bouncing. But if you have somewhat of a good performance out of this bullish engulfing, out of this bullish divergence, it means that sellers might be getting exhausted for real, and buyers might be coming in to defend this 9.5 level here, 9.41, which is a critical inflection point from history. So that's your TIA. Engine was looking good too, because you have an harmonic here with a type 2 return. I think it was like this. Yeah, the 886 Fibonacci retracement, and you have the second low as a back test. So I have a small engine long here, just waiting for higher prices. I'm currently in profit, so it's pretty cool. Which one was the level? I think it was this one. Yeah, that's the level here. It's going to hold. I'm currently building positive momentum too on the MACD histogram. So that's a small position that I have open besides the whiff one. Study relative strength, man. Look at the strength of whiff. Damn, I just hope it pumps to the moon and just leaves everyone behind. Everyone who was just fighting, whiff at the bottom. I have some other stuffs here. Bonk, I'm not sure if we identified this pattern on stream. It looks really similar to the Pepe playbook, right? Like Bonk is like here, basically, like around here or so, like right there, inverse head and shoulders above the neckline, big up mark. Burst head and shoulders above the neckline. You actually have like this Adam and Eve continuation pattern. I don't like to call it that way because Adam and Eve forms the bottom, and this will be like a continuation side of it. But you can clearly see the Adam and Eve pattern here with a sharp drop, a B recovery, and then around the bottom of a higher low. Then you have the neckline here, which was broken to the upside. Just bonk looks good. I think there's some narrative of the tokens that were vested will be currently fully unvested within this week or the week before. But I saw a post on Twitter that someone said that was a lie, and they still have some vesting for another 12 months. So they will have some unlocks coming in. Everyone thinks the unlocks are done, and that's why it probably is pumping, and it's actually not done. But don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. I just saw it. I'm not trading bonk right now, but it definitely looked good. You had the same setup against BTC, same in burst head and shoulders. This is bonk against Pepe. There's this bullish divergence here on the 3-day. Maybe it was on, no, it's on the daily. So you have this lower low and a higher low MACD histogram, but it hasn't been able to just perform. So maybe bonk is, I'm sorry, just Pepe it'll just continue to outperform bonk for the time being. And this is bonk against whiff. You somewhat had this inverse head and shoulders. I don't like the structure as much. I think it's a little bit forced, but it was there, and it gave up somewhat of a good relief rally against the whiff, who was outperforming the living crap out of it and working on a bearish engulfing candle, which will close in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, I'm not too interested in this yet. Arbitrum DXDY. Injective against Ethereum is currently sitting at an interesting level. It has this huge absorption of demand. So I was hoping to see maybe a bounce here, since injective is somewhat of a layer 2 narrative. But I think it's going to continue to bleed like Arbitrum or Optimism until we see some accumulation basically, signs. I'm sure this will turn into a great trade in a few more months, or who knows when, because right now we're in deep retracement areas, almost full retracement territory. So below the 0.786 fib retracement area. So not touching this either. I was just charting a lot of ETH tokens against Ethereum, and just I couldn't find anyone that I've liked besides like on-chain memes. It's just Uniswap looks somewhat better than the others, but after this huge markdown, I'm not sure. I guess you could build a position around the 0.002430 sats, which is this low here from TGE, I think. From when Uniswap was airdropped, I think it put in this low, then was back tested here against Ethereum on May 2022, and we're currently just like sitting above it. So yeah. This is an interesting small cap meme that I think it's built on Doge Omnom. It has an interesting harmonic here. So I'm looking at if it's able to build a type 2 backtest or return in order to build a position, but I'm not going to go ahead until we see some more developing on this asset. Okay, let's go to some bad performers, because I think the best performer of the day was with a lot of red across the board today. Kind of some mixed signals from AI coins, most likely due to the Nvidia news. I think Render is the one that looks the best out of all the AI coins, but just don't like that it's bearishly engulfed here. There you have it, chat. Candle close today. New daily is open. What's the merge? The Ethereum merge? There's something really interesting about the Ethereum merge. I'll show you about. So I'm guessing that bullish divergence on the 3-day in Ethereum finally played out, huh? I'm not sure if we looked at it on stream, but I had checked it out a few weeks ago that we could be seeing some bullish price action. Some merge on AI coins. I'm not sure what you mean, but what I'm going to show you now here is pretty wild. This day was the merge of Ethereum, the exact top, this rally, and commencing this full downtrend after Ethereum moving from proof of work to proof of stake. Oh, I didn't know. Ocean and Ajax? Oh, wow. Wasn't aware. But you said the merge, and remind me of this. Not sure if it's bullish, because the merge this time basically gave us a bloodbath. To combine 3 coins, wow. Let's look at it. That's why they probably green on the daily. They might. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they closed green, both of them, I think. Yeah. Which one's strongest though? I think I'm gonna chart this one against Render. So as your Ajax, I don't know how you pronounce this ticker, against Render. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. You just have, oh wow, just have lower lows and lower highs, lower high, lower low than this one, lower high. You need to build a high low, and then we can start talking. If this low gets confirmed, then maybe it's a higher low than this one, and you could have a market structure break. Yeah, it's a channel there worth entertaining. But the trend is bearish on the 3 days. So until we see a higher low, yeah, definitely time to chill. So I don't know which one was the worst performer of the day, but there were definitely some bad performers. I think Link wasn't the worst performer, but wasn't doing as good. I'm sure it must have been a weak coin. Sui currently trying to set its support around the $1.1 level here. Trying to get above it and acceptance. Aptos just looks weaker than Sui. CHR was the better looking layer 2, I think. Oh wow, we have some setups here from the past. So Edward, this is what I was talking about, expanding or ascending brown in wedges. That's the setup that you want to see on render BTC. Know what I'm saying? You just respected the trend line and look what it did next. Insane. Okay, we're going to look at Mina and then I'm gonna close the stream for today. Since you have an open position on it. Check out the 3-day if we have any. Okay. So no edge on the 3-day MACD because you have this low here and then a lower low on MACD, and you actually had a lower low on price as well. So I don't have any kind of hidden bullish divergence building on the MACD histogram like BTC does and Total and altcoins. But that doesn't mean it's bad. What I do like is that the negative momentum is kind of wearing out, and we can start to see some positive momentum soon. It's not necessarily that that's going to happen because we could just have one small positive momentum here, bar, and then start building negative momentum again. But you definitely want to see this while you have a big downtrend and you starting to see some reaction here. It might be time for some positive momentum because we haven't had any on the 3 days since March 10. So that could be good. As I told you, the 0.8 level is quite important. You're currently just sitting below it. You couldn't close the daily above it. And this is the importance of the level here. If you look left, it's this inflection point from May 2022 where it bounced and then bounced again, and when you lost it, you nuked. You like tested it as resistance a bunch of times until you were able to break out above it, then became resistance again. It's just been the whole story for a bunch of times. So you know that the 0.8 box is just a strong level here. And this one, this $0.72 is this level that I'm looking from the left. It's not as strong, as the 0.8 because this one comes all the way from 2022. This one comes from December 2023, but it's been respected lately. somewhat. So I would like this low not to be confirmed as a third lower high. I mean, not this low, this high. So you don't want to see three lower highs, because if you turn it upside down, you could see three rising valleys maybe. You know, this low, higher low, high, then a higher high than this one. It's like whiff inverted basically. With the difference between this chart and whiff is that whiff is coming from a downtrend. You know, three rising valleys is a bottoming pattern. In this case, it could work as a continuation pattern. Sure, why not? It doesn't have the same odds of playing out as on a bottom, you know. But with for this pattern is coming from here. In your case, you're coming from here. You're pumping into a three rising valleys. But you can see it's the same. If you don't take that into consideration, it's the same setup, you know. Three higher lows, one high, and then one higher high. So the neckline of the inverted three rising valleys is the same. This level from December 2023. So take that into consideration. If we don't put in a higher low here, I don't know your size or anything, and it's not financial advice. But if I were long on Mina, I would be really concerned on a daily candle close below this candle close from May 20, because it means that you fully reversed this whole price action from here, unless it takes you a lot of time, unless that sweep takes you, like, I don't know, some weeks or whatever. But if you fully come down here and you have a candle close below it, I wouldn't stay long on this asset. That's just me. And on Mina BTC, you already know this big ass channel here with two deviations. Just basically from its inception from July 2021, it's been trading on this ascending channel. Will it break to the upside? Most likely. Most descending channels break to the upside, but you don't know when. And it could do another all-time low here and come test the lower side of the channel before breaking out. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for your participation, Edward, and tuning in. Appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you also like the video, give me a comment, and stay tuned for the following streams. I'll be doing a microcap stream in the following days, so I think that's going to be really interesting because it'll be filled with a lot of good trading setups. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you. See you guys on the next time. Bye.